Hey guys, welcome back to the channel Everyday Carry for the Everyday Guys. So today we're going to be talking about flashlights and particularly the Warrior X Pro. Now it's going to be a review slash discussion because chances are if you're looking at the Warrior X Pro, you've probably looked at the Warrior X, and in a worst case scenario, you might actually own the Warrior X. Well, not a worst case scenario, in a different scenario, you might actually own the Warrior X and wonder whether or not it's worth investing in the Pro. Is there any value to having both? So it's kind of a discussion we need to have because there are a lot of similarities between the X and the Pro. And I'm going to take you through what I think is better about the X versus better about the Pro. I will say that the amount of lumen output, 2000 versus 2250, the amount of throws, 600 meters versus 540 something, it's almost negligible, right? Where the difference comes in for me is the amount of Candela. The Candela rating on the Pro is 90,000 and on the original Warrior X is 74,000 or something like that, 74,800. So that makes a difference. Now, what Candela is, the best way to describe it is Candela is like light intensity or almost like hotspot intensity. If you want to think of it like this. Imagine there was thick fog, right? The flashlight with the higher candela is going to be able to penetrate that fog further than the flashlight with a lower candela. Now, also, candela aids with that disorientation ability, right? The higher the level of candela, the more disorientating it's going to be when that beam is shone in your face. On the new Warrior X Pro, which I'm going to concentrate on, you get the setting of low. Basically what that is 300 lumens, and you get that for a little under 5 hours. And then the high setting, which is 2220 lumens, which is a hard press, you get that for like 2 minutes, and then it dims down to like 1000 lumens for I think 100 minutes, and then it dims down a bit more. So effectively, this isn't something you're going to be using in and around your house. This is going to be something you're using for when you want to positively identify something, maybe at greater distance. There is going to be a high level of reflection if you're using this in small or confined spaces. So it's not something that, if you drop something underneath your couch, this isn't the flash that you're going to be using to go and look for whatever's under your couch. You're going to get a very, very bright, intense light that's almost going to blind the user. Let's get the general things out of the way. First off, impact testing. Now, Olight say that this flashlight is impact resistant, rated up to 3 meters. I tested it a bit differently. I always drop these things 7 times, but I actually saw a test where Olight dropped this thing or dropped the Warrior X Pro something like 2000 times from 3 meters. So I figured that would be like a very superfluous test. So what I did was an impact test where I force impacted the flashlight on a solid object. So let's have a look at what that looks like. I do it from both the front and the rear. Okay, so that's basically a force impact. I would imagine the impact or shock of me striking that piece of wood would be greater than dropping it from 3 meters. So as you'd expect, the light came out perfectly fine, and it's, Olight have the Warrior X and pretty much all their flashlight designs pretty well down to a T at this point. They're going to supply you with what they say is on the box. Waterproofing, I again took my waterproofing to another level. This is cycling the flashlight. I can tell you that even when it's underwater at a depth of 1.5 meters, you can cycle the flashlight, you can press the buttons, they all work fine. So I want to go in and say that waterproofing is not a big deal. Side note, I'm not going to waterproof test all my flashlights like that because winter is coming and I'm not jumping into a pool. So please don't consider that to be the norm. That was an exception. But the Warrior X is good for waterproofing as well. Now we'll show some images of the Warrior X original versus the Warrior X Pro, and what you'll see is the original and Pro, there's very little difference, right? You will just find that with the Pro, you're able to pick up good color rendition and it just seems a bit brighter. Those trees in the background are about, I'd say about 50 meters away. So it just gives a brighter, more intense beam, and that's where that 90,000 Candela comes in. That is what is allowing it to A, penetrate, and B, brighten things further away. Also, you can kind of see that the hotspot is still clear. So again, Candela equals more power, more intensity, greater reach, greater disorientating ability, greater ability to positively identify things. Something that maybe when you start looking at, when you start reviewing flashlights, is Candela rating versus lumen rating. Lumen is basically how much light it emits. Candela, as I said, is the intensity of that light. By the way, side note, my bug out bag has changed. If this is something you're interested in seeing, leave a comment in the video description below. If you want to see it or not see it. Obviously with Corona and lockdown and all those things, bug out bags are becoming more and more popular. So I did change my bug out bag. If you want to see a review of that bag, let me know in the comments below. Okay, so back to the Olights. So for a size comparison, this is the original and this is the Pro. They are very similarly sized. The Pro is just a little bit longer. Maybe you can see it better like that. The Pro is a little bit longer. And I think the bezel circumference of the Pro is a bit smaller than the original. What I do like about the Pro versus the original is the tail cap. So it's got that new, can you see this? Let me get my camera to focus. It's got that new tail cap with the raised little pieces to allow for the new charger. It's got one of those red charging situations. So it's got that fast charge and it's holds its charge longer, and it's running a high discharge 5000 milliamp 21700 battery. What I like about the tail cap is the button. I'm gonna try to show you this, right? Let me try to get it to you like that. There is more travel in the button. You see, I'm pressing the button, but the light isn't coming on, and there it goes on. I like it when there's more travel. In the original, I felt like the moment you tap the button, it goes on. So, I mean, it wasn't bad, but I like this more because it gives me more control. So it's very easy for me to go from low to high and off. And I might as well show you the function as well. So a press and hold, this is low, is for momentary on. A deeper press and hold, that's high, is also momentary on. And then a tap is constant on, that's low. And a harder tap, well, I prowled it along there. A harder tap is constant on, and that's high. And that's pretty much all you get. I remember the original one had that thing where you twist the tail cap and then you basically get only momentary on, and it's like if you press hard, it goes to strobe. With the Warrior X Pro, it's basically, that is all you get. Light press for low mode and hard press for high mode, and that's all the modes. So for those tactical junkies out there who want a super tactical flashlight, this is that flashlight. I know a lot of people who don't like Olight because they say there's too many modes. Olight have kind of answered you with this guy. Now onto the pouches. One thing I did like about the original pouch was that you got this sleeve where you could keep your charging cable in, or you could slide a pen in there, whatever the case may be. It was open at the bottom, and you could activate it if you wanted to. I actually showed when I reviewed this, when you put it on your belt sideways and you activate it, it actually acts like a bit of a spotlight for you, so you can sort of go hands-free. I like this pouch more than I like the new pouch. This is the new one. It's bigger, it's magnetic. They're kind of the same material. I just wish that this pouch was like this. They both have a hole at the bottom. I like this little added section over here where you can keep the charger or pen or whatever the case may be. The downfall of the original pouch is that it can only go onto a belt, whereas with the newer pouch, it can be sort of molly-webbed. So pluses and minuses. Olight, can you please amalgamate these two pouches where we get the front of this pouch and the back of this pouch in one pouch with the sleeve, and then we are good to go. So in the box, my most interesting thing, you get your standard Olight box, nice and fancy. You do get, obviously the pouch, you do get one of these clips as well. You get this grip stop situation, but you also get this tactical one. You do also get this one, which I like. It just fits my hand better. I like it. This isn't something that I would clip onto a belt anyway. I just kept it on here for the purpose of this review, so you could tell the two apart. So if I'm gonna run this, I would either have it stationed at a certain place in my house. For example, these two sit on my pedestal and Michelle's pedestal. So she has the Warrior X and I have the Warrior X Pro, and it sits next to our bed. Because if we're going to use them, it's going to be in an emergency situation where you want a lot of light. It's not something we use for utilitarian purposes. Now, the question does come down to, if you own this, should you buy this? For my money, I wouldn't. As awesome as the new Warrior X Pro is, and it is really awesome with that better tail switch, faster charge, better battery, higher Candela, you don't need two of them, right? If you were going to buy a new tactical flashlight, I would definitely say out of these two, go for the Warrior X Pro. But if you already own the Warrior X, you don't have to feel like hard done by Olight, in that they released the Warrior X and now they've released the Pro, and you feel a bit like you bought the wrong one. You didn't. You still have a really good, really functional tactical flashlight in the original Warrior X. However, if you are looking at your next tactical flashlight, or you're looking to buy a new tactical flashlight, or you don't have either, then I would say go for the Warrior X Pro, simply because that main feature, that higher Candela, is the big win ticket for me on these two flashlights. Very similar. Massive thank you to Olight for sending me both. I have done a review on this one as well, so check that out. I'll leave links in the video description, or it will pop up somewhere or other. I think Olight are at a point where they're like rivaling the best on the market for lumen output, Candela, and survivability. I think some of the things I put these lights through maybe are a bit more than what some of the competitors will do. So they're really, really coming on strong, and they're sort of innovating really, really fast. So well done to them. Also a huge thanks to Henry Beeman for always sending me the coolest, newest Olights. And then on a personal note, last Monday, or the Monday just before I filmed this video, the 6th, was my godchild Kylie's birthday. Obviously, being under lockdown, I couldn't be there, so I just want to say, Kylie, happy birthday. Michelle and I love you very much. We can't wait to see you after the lockdown. I hope you had a great birthday, and I hope you have many, many more. That's it, guys. Have a good week. I will see you soon for another review. Let me know if you want me to do the bug out bag. Cheers. God bless.